I'm gonna go live on here so that I can actually get a link. So it was putting a link out that I didn't even have access to.
That's interesting.
I don't have access to it until it starts the stream. I have no access to a link.
Strange.
Yeah, it's very strange. So let's see if Jarvis. Maybe Jarvis is just a dumb robot. It doesn't know what's going on. No, it has access to the channel, so it has to know what's going on. I wonder if that's the link now. Let's see if there's a link. It is. That is the link. It literally activated a link before I even pressed stream. Just going into the back end, generating a link. That is nuts. That is not the way it should be. That is for sure.
Yeah. Okay. What's the short? Question is can I send him a Zoom? That's okay?
That's okay, boss.
I just got to make sure. We live for people to hear us?
Yes, everybody can hear you.
Oh, well, don't say anything bad then, Shane.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, don't say anything bad, Shane. I mean, you never say anything bad. So why would I say it?
That's fair, I guess.
You're a damn near.
What? No. What?
What? What did I say? What? What is the problem?
Children are listening, I'm sure.
I have to do it the way hackers do it, bro. Like, I know how to get the link when there's no link available. I have to do it that way. Like, it's so stupid. This whole thing is stupid.
I get it. There's always, listen, we haven't done a live show in
No.
over a year.
We haven't done a live show. But my other job, I do them 3 times a week.
It's different, though. You don't do it on this way, do you?
Job I can't talk about.
You don't do it. You don't do it here.
It's
through
YouTube and OBS. It uses the same basic premise, but
then you have no excuse. Now I change it.
The thing is, that I don't ever do it unlisted.
Yeah.
I don't have to use Zoom. Like, everything's very straightforward. Broadcast here. It's different, but it's the same setup, but different process.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Oh my god. My brain's right there. I'm just trying to close this thing See? If I can show you guys this, it shows Mark. It says Mark is waiting in the waiting room. Admin review. That's on my 3rd screen. Zoom is on my 4th screen. They're like 3 feet apart. Why is it on the same screen Zoom is on?
I don't know. I'm going to close out Discord.
I can pop that out. Yeah. Okay.
But whether you like it or not.
We need to post these links.
Which one? But whether you like it or not, we'll wind it out.
No, it's countdown. I can't.
Pressure. No, I've never done it. It's cool. I got this. I'll figure it out on the fly.
Well, it's gonna have to be
That's how I roll.
That's the way it's gonna have to be. Because I just remember, I literally cannot.
Yeah. Well, I just need to learn how to do it once. I got this. Look at what, 21 seconds?
Make sure you're in the right one. Make sure you're in podcast, member section, make a post, make sure
Oh, you gotta do it from the front. You don't do it from the back. That's That's the weird thing about YouTube.
Live stream is now.
Except the screen is black and no one's
yeah, that's
there.
right. Wait, but intro.
Hey, when you go to membership, nothing happens.
Hey, bro, you're interrupting my freaking awesome intro. What's wrong with you?
I know, but I can't.
You know what? We're restarting it.
I can't post the link.
Okay, what, bro? What are you talking about? You can't post the link? You know, not the members, bro. It's the community page. Make a post for members.
Okay, and then who does it go to? Doesn't not the public, only to
the members only.
All channel members, right?
All channel members, yeah.
Boom, and there it goes.
Oh my god, I got.
Are we on?
I'm like blotchy. No, I'm gonna replay that. I'm gonna redo the intro that I spent 3 weeks making that you keep interrupting. Are you ready?
Sorry.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's the intro, everybody.
Okay, my bad.
Hey, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the podcast. We're going to pretend like the last 7 minutes didn't happen.
Well, most of it had a countdown feature, so really no problem.
I made that countdown, too.
Welcome, guys.
YouTube's countdown sucks!
So you made your own? Yeah, it is better.
Well, welcome,
hello there, members.
Can I correct you? Welcome, guy. There's one viewer right now.
Right now, but that doesn't mean that the stream's not going to come up later.
So two concurrent viewers happening. Yeah. That's what happens when you're private members only and have 6 members.
Well, we haven't live streamed in over a year.
That's true. I would tell you, if we were actually gonna blow up our regular channel and start a stream, I guarantee you it would be more than 3 people. There'd be a couple hundred people.
We used to have 2,000-3,000 people watching that.
I know. When we had like 1,000 subs, we had like over 1,000 viewers.
Yes, and the Orville Pickle Show will be back. So
it will. Yeah,
it will be back.
But will it be back on Podcast Prime? Don't think so.
Probably not. It'll be here at Unleashed. This is where we do the live.
And here's the thing: this is not our fault, guys. It's YouTube's fault. Well, we would absolutely love to do a stream whenever we wanted to. Jump on, talk to you guys, have a pickle party, dance around, all that. We enjoyed that. Let me tell you something. It is way easier and way more enjoyable to do that than to spend a month and a half making a 30-minute video. But YouTube, when they make the 30-minute videos, YouTube goes, "Hey guys, this is awesome. Let's tell everybody about it." They serve us up. People watch it. We get more subs. And we grow. Now, we didn't know at the time when we first started doing that if you also live stream, then YouTube goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're doing more than one thing. We don't like that."
Yes.
So, we cannot have candid videos on there. We can't do a live stream. We can't just do whatever we want. We have to stay in this sort of a format, or YouTube just punishes us hard, which is why we started the Podcast Unleashed. Yeah,
Podcast Unleashed exists essentially so that we can keep doing the things that a lot of you enjoyed. So having these conversations, talking about stuff, you'll always be able to get the podcast videos over on the podcast channel. But
I should make sure this is working, huh?
Well, I see it. It's working. At least on YouTube it is channel. But
I should make sure this is working, huh?
So is it possible? Well, I see it. It's working.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I can hear myself.
All right.
Cool.
So it's working. So guys, we're going to have a great show for you today. We have lots of stuff to talk about. We're going to be talking about,
I'm in a live stream. Can I call you back?
Because that's how we roll. We answer the phone during live streams.
Bro, it's my wife.
Oh yeah. We text them in advance and let them know. Hey,
yeah, I did do that. And she just ignored it. I don't care about your petty, stupid live stream, you wannabe YouTuber. Get back to work.
So listen, in a second here, we're going to bring in Mark Zachary to talk about his Space Command But first off, I got to tell you guys, thank you very much for being members of this channel. We're always trying to bring you new stuff. Make sure you get over to Discord if you're not there already. Hit us up. I think there's a link actually below in the thing.
Yeah,
we're going to be talking to
by default. The link to every one of our social accounts in there, just so you know.
Okay, good. We're going to be talking about. We're going to talk with Mark today. We're going to be talking about some Army of Dead. Came out on Netflix today. We're going to be talking about. So yeah, we're going to be talking about some Nichelle Nichols elder abuse charges.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I was like up here, then I'm just brought me down right now.
I know, but it's interesting. We're going to be talking a little about little Enterprise today, and we're also going to be talking about Dave. We're going to be talking about Dave Bautista's shirtless scenes in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, AKA all the clips I have on my special Dave Bautista folder.
Keeping it real. But
all right, but before that,
yes. Oh wait, you wanted
video of the day.
Totally even forgot about this thing.
Here we go, baby.
Video of the week day. What is it?
I'm sorry. Yeah, video of the week. So I get to pick a little video clip every week, and even Shane doesn't know what it is. So
not a clue.
Hopefully, we don't get demonetized for it. Are you ready, Shane?
Here we go. Now that makes me nervous.
Here we go. And
Guinan, I need your help. Could you step over here a minute?
In a moment. That was my favorite thing.
Oh, did you see he was like, oh my gosh, he's on the floor.
Yeah, so what's great about, I actually looked into that scene. I ended up going to watch the episode that I was a part of. He was being super serious at the time. So he's trying to be like this serious Riker, and then his foot gets caught in the chair or whatever, and he just takes a tumble. It's great.
I'm sure Jonathan Frakes loves that being played over.
So Riker always does that thing where he flips his leg over to sit down. So he has this like elaborate way of sitting down and getting up, which is why he keeps tripping on stage.
Right on. Yeah. Something you guys did not know, or maybe you did.
Probably did.
First up, let's talk about it. We're going to be bringing on Mark Scott Zachary.
Mark,
Mark, who we share a birthday. I found out today. He's born August 25th as well.
Oh, you know what, bro? You look really good. You're good for your age.
No, not the exact same day of birth. The same birthday.
You know what? It was believable though.
Got it. Whatever. Mark has written and produced hundreds of hours of TV programs and worked for virtually all the major studios and networks. His credits include Star Trek: The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Twilight Zone, Babylon 5, Beauty and the Beast, Sliders. There's so many things. Mark Zachary here with us today. Let's bring him on.
All right, here we go. Let's see if I can make this work.
Dude, you missed my cue. It was like you should have been ready to bring him when I said bring him in.
But I was so engrossed with what you were saying that I forgot that we were even live streaming.
So we need a board manager. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we definitely do.
So that you can be on the show.
All right.
Yes, we promise. Mark Zachary.
Mark,
just a second.
And here we go. Mark Zachary.
There we go.
There it is.
Guys.
You made it.
Hey, Mark.
I'm actually here. Hi, guys.
Nah, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Life is exciting. Every day is Christmas.
Mark, we're so excited to have you on the show. We actually tried to do this a year ago.
Wow.
Just before COVID, and it did not work out because of things.
Yes.
And now here we are a year later, and we're so excited. I got to tell you, Space Command is by far, in my opinion, the best fan film ever made.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've seen it twice. I've seen your first episode twice. I absolutely love it. And I'm extremely excited for you to come out with a second episode. And that's what we're here to talk about today, right?
That's great. Yes. And the other thing is that, it was very interesting because I spent, decades working specifically solely for the studios and networks, almost all of them virtually, and hundreds of hours of TV. And then I made an episode of Star Trek New Voyages with George Takei and my friend Christina Moses. That was her first TV work. Now she's starring in A Million Little Things on ABC. And so what I'm doing now, I don't think of so much as a fan film as independent television. Just like you have independent film that was separate from what the studios and the networks were doing. And that doesn't mean I won't form alliances with the studios and networks. It just means that I'm able to do exactly the show I want to do, where I don't have to dance to someone else's tune, particularly someone who's a moron. So, you know, so that's
what are the chances of somebody, let's say somebody like a Netflix or an Amazon says, hey, I really like what Mark's making. Let's try to bring this in. Is that something you'd eventually want to do?
Yes, and I've actually been having those conversations with the executives at Netflix and Amazon and, you know, everywhere, you know, all over the place. And I know, because I know a lot of those executives, but my goal is an even larger one. I'm creating something called the Showrunners Network, where we're going to roll out 6 new series, all science fiction, fantasy, and horror, co-created with the creators of The Expanse, Farscape, Defiance, many shows, and the top science fiction shows of the last several years. And there's also a new Rod Serling project that I'm talking to the Serling family about doing. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so we've so far we've recorded 7 hours of Space Command. There's 7 hours more that we have to shoot for the full first season, and but we're also embarked upon the rest of the series in the Showrunners Network as well. So it's a big plan. But on the other hand, I have my own physical studio, and my fans have underwritten me, and it's great. I have no complaints.
That seems like to be the way to go. If
Yes.
people aren't familiar with Space Command and you haven't had a chance to see it yet, we'll be sharing that link so you guys can watch it. But you guys, people don't realize some of the people that are in this show. I mean, there's Doug Jones, there's Robert Picardo, there's Bill Mummy.
Yeah.
You got Bruce Boxleitner. You have all of these. You have a lot of people. And Nichelle Nichols is in it.
Yes.
You pulled out all the stops. I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, coming down the pike, we've got Christina Moses, Armin Shimmerman, Ethan Phillips, Gates McFadden is aboard on
Nice.
one of our projects. Veronica Cartwright from Lost in Space, from Alien, and Marta Kristen from the original Lost in Space. Tons, and Michael Harney from Orange is the New Black and Project Blue Book. It just keeps going. Everyone's eager to be part of this wonderful journey. You know, it's and we just posted the first 10 minutes of episode 2, which we're completing now. And I just posted a trailer for episode 3. We'll be doing a sneak peek on episode 3 in the next few days, where we show the first, 6-7 minutes of it. So there's a lot to come. So it's very fun. So it's perfect. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Is Ethan McDowell going to continue? He'll continue doing it?
Yes, and it's fun because, as you mentioned, I cast a lot of stars from the Star Trek and Stargate universe and so forth. But also, we had several worldwide talent searches where anyone anywhere in the world could audition for several of our lead roles, and that's how we got Ethan McDowell. I mean, he's the villain on Doom Patrol now, but when we got him, he really hadn't broken into television yet, and so we cast him because he was perfect for the lead role of Captain Jack Kemmer. And we're going to be releasing very, very soon the Captain Jack Kemmer action figure. So that's going to be pretty fun. Fun.
He's got something special. He's got that little sparkle that you need to really make it in Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the fun part was I wanted a hero who had this kind of innate sense of decency, and who sort of was a callback to Henry Fonda or Jimmy Stewart or Gary Cooper without seeming corny or old-fashioned, where there was a genuine sense of honor and so forth, and courage. And Ethan was perfect. I'm thrilled to be working with him. It's terrific fun.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about how people can help support to keep the show running, keep you guys going. I know you're in the middle of another Kickstarter, and you guys have really delivered.
Yes, I mean, it's really fun. So far, our fans have subsidized us one of 2 ways. There's Kickstarter, and there's also buying investment shares in Space Command at $7,500 each, which gets a portion of my profits when the show sells. But either is great, either is appreciated. Right now, we've got a Space Command Kickstarter campaign at spacecommandkickstarter.com. We've got tons of cool stuff. We've got producer credits, acting roles, T-shirts. Yay, Space Command.
That's nice.
And we've even got. I just finished a new book called Greenlighting Yourself, which tells writers, directors, actors, producers how they don't have to wait for the studios or the networks or the publishers to wave their magic wand. The ways to use the new technologies to actually make stuff happen, like I have. And so they can actually get a pre-release version of that book, copy of that book, and a T-shirt that on the front says "Green lighting yourself," and on the back it says "Mark Zickry's got my back."
Oh, very cool. I love it. Mark, I got to tell you, you've been around, you've been in this game for so long. I was just looking through some of your IMDb stuff, and we can talk about the Star Treks and we can talk about the Twilight Zone that everybody knows about. But I want to talk about something else. I want to just talk about one of my favorite TV shows when I was a kid, and that was Friday the 13th.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sliders. Damn it.
Well, no, we did Sliders. He's known for that. But I was surprised to see the Friday the 13th there. That show terrified me.
Yes.
So that was so well written. It did not get enough credit.
No, but it's fun because I'm the only writer, besides being the only writer who wrote for both Babylon 5 and Deep Space Nine, I'm also the only writer who wrote for Friday the 13th, the series, and Smurfs. So
and He-Man.
You know, Mark, I wasn't allowed to watch either of those because I grew up in an Amish family. And Smurfs were demons, and Friday the 13th was even worse.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. They were demons, having written it. Well, the fun part with Friday the 13th, the series, was that Paramount, they were starting to offer Canadian tax credits, and Paramount wanted to get into that. And the head at that time was Frank Mancuso, the head of the studio of Paramount, and his son, Frank Mancuso Jr., had started as a PA on the Friday the 13th films and moved up to producer. And they came up with this idea of these two cousins who inherit an antique store and find out that their uncle made a pact with the devil where there's all these cursed antique items out in the world, and they set about trying to find those items and bring them back because they're creating, terrible things in the world. And so I found that a very interesting idea for a show, and so I was invited in to pitch, and the pitch went so well that the other story editor, Bill Taub, hired me on as a story editor. That was my entry level position on staff. I was never a staff writer. I went in as a story editor. And so for the first season, I was there coming up with a bunch of stories and doing rewrites and all that stuff. And it was very, very fun. I loved writing it. And I wrote a number of episodes I'm proud of. And I got to work with some of my heroes like Ray Walston, who was in My Favorite Martian. He was in the episodes I wrote. So that's another great fun part of this job, that you get to work with your heroes like Nichelle Nichols or George Takei or any of the people I'm working with now.
Yes, there is a wood chipper that is still giving me nightmares, just so you know.
I realized you were talking how it's off the air now, but when Supernatural was on the air, you would have been a perfect writer for Supernatural because they did all that. They did all kinds of crazy, where they would mix horror with sci-fi and comedy, and it was just such a pleasure to watch. Same style of writing.
Yes, and it was fun, and it was also funny because we would watch the dailies. We shot, on film. That was what we were doing back then, and it would be a day or two before you got your dailies, and you would watch these scary scenes without the music or sound effects added yet. And so it's like someone wanders into a kitchen, then they wander into the living room, and it's like, oh man, this is taking forever. Then they put in the spooky music, and it's like, oh, something's happened, But it's really fun to see it without all those things because it's a very different animal. But I really, really loved it, and we were on the Paramount lot. Even though we were shooting in Canada, we were there at Paramount on the Paramount lot when Star Trek: The Next Generation was just starting up. So I would eat in the executive dining room, and the entire cast of TNG would be there in costume and makeup and everything, including Data with the yellow eyes. But no one knew who they were yet because they hadn't. I mean, I knew it was Star Trek, but it hadn't aired yet. I remember one time Jonathan Frakes got up from the table to head somewhere, maybe the men's room or whatever, and everyone was watching him. And being an actor, he was kind of preening for his audience, and he walked face first into a column.
That goes with what we were just talking about him falling over. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So one of the things that most people might not know is Sliders, and that's one of our favorite shows. Just real quick, do you have a story about Sliders that you can share? Because I wish we had more of that.
Oh God, I do too.
It was great fun. I was a producer on that show, season 4, and we had a 22 episode order. This is when Fox canceled the show and Sci-Fi picked it up. And it had gone, the previous season, season 3, had gone very badly. It was sort of warfare in the writers' room. There was a lot of struggle. I wasn't on the show at that point, but they were sort of doing movie ripoff of the week. It was not utilizing the show or the characters or the stories very well. And so they brought me in as the science fiction guy to help fix it. So one of the things we did was, it was a very small writing staff. It was just Chris Black, Bill Dial, and then our showrunner was David Peckinpah. But so basically we had a great freedom, and so we brought our actors in, our leads, in one at a time, and said, what do you think's working for you, for your character, and what do you think's not working? What would you like to see the show do? And then we went to then I went to the World Science Fiction Convention and met with the fans, who were very disgruntled at that point. And I said, well, what don't you like about the show? And they told me, and I said, well, I agree with you. We're going to fix it. And so we did. I wrote an episode called World Killer. It was really fun, because in the universe of Sliders, in Quinn's home world, he invented the sliding device, which slid him and his friends to a parallel world. So I had an alternative world where a duplicate of Quinn had invented a machine, but instead of it sliding him to another world, it slid everyone else on the planet to another Earth. And so because for 3 years, he's been wandering around thinking he's the last man on Earth, and he disintegrated everyone. Then our guys show up and say, no, you just slid them to a parallel Earth. Let's go there and see what happened. And that Earth was an Earth where in an instant the population doubled. And so as a result, it's got all sorts of problems. And then our characters have to decide whether to slide everyone back, because they've been living there for 3 years and established relationships and lives and so forth. And it's all or nothing. And it was a really fun episode. And we shot on the Universal back lot. And one of the questions I asked when I first took over the job was, because I wrote the Twilight Zone companion, so I knew that Rod Serling, when he did Twilight Zone, it was shot at MGM, and he had access to every prop, costume, set, backlot building, everything from every MGM movie or TV show ever made. So when I was at Universal, I said, do we have access to to everything that Universal has done, the props, costume, sets, blah, blah, blah. And they said, no one's ever asked us this question. We'll see, we'll find out. So they came back and they said, with a very few exceptions, the answer is yes. So we were using stuff from 12 Monkeys and from Jurassic Park and a ton of stuff, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. And then when they canceled the Time Cop TV series, they were going to tear down all those sets, and they were on a soundstage right next to ours. And I walked over there, and they have these amazing futuristic sets. And I immediately thought up a Sliders episode that would use those sets. It was called Slide Cage. And I told my assistant to tell them to put a pin in them, and we got $500,000 worth of sets for free. And so it was great to know how to do those tricks. But we did 22 episodes. I was very hands-on for pretty much all of them, and it was a great experience. I loved it. I'm very proud of the work we did.
Well, Mark, you are an amazing wealth of information. Thank you for bringing all this stuff to us. And but sure, let's talk a little bit more about Space Command. Where can people go and help? What can we expect next? What's the time frame looking like?
Yes. Well, the best place to check on Space Command and watch the episodes and see what we've been doing is my YouTube channel, Mr. Sci-Fi. So just go to Mr. Sci-Fi. It's free. You just subscribe, and I've been posting a lot of content, not just on Space Command, but on everything I know about Twilight Zone, Sliders, you name it. In fact, there's one somewhere in my collection. There's a video of one of my Sliders episodes that has an extra scene in it that was cut for time and has never been aired. And so when I find that tape, I'm going to put it up on Mr. Sci-Fi, because it'll be really fun to show, the whole episode for the first time. But with Space Command, I wanted to create a hopeful vision of the future, something that would inspire people like Star Trek inspired me, because I found so much science fiction to be dark and dystopic and depressing. And, there's room for that, of course, but I think we have to say we can create a better future if we are compassionate and empathetic and recognize that the only race that really matters is the human race, that we're all part of that race. And we've got to, be kind. We've got to put it into action. We've got to, make it a better future. Otherwise, what are we doing? We're ducking our responsibility. And also, who wants to create a worse world for our children and grandchildren and so forth? We can make it better, as Gene Roddenberry said when he inspired so many people with Star Trek. And we reached out to our fans. They gave us the money to open my studio. I've got a physical studio here in Los Angeles, and we shot the first 2 hours, and we had enough money to shoot the third hour. And then we've kept going, and we recorded the prequel, which is an audio play and also a graphic novel, and combined those into an animatic. It's called United Planet. And so you can check that out, the work in progress of that on Mr. Sci-Fi. And it was our entire cast, including our dear friend Mira Furlan, who I first worked with on Babylon 5, and she's spectacular in Space Command. Very sadly, we lost her to West Nile virus during the pandemic, but I'm so glad I got to have this wonderful role that she plays in Space Command. And then during the pandemic, we did a special 2-hour episode where our actors shot their own scenes with their own cameras in their own homes, and we had our actors shooting stuff in Europe and the UK and Canada and all through the US, and then put it together. Because I knew there were many characters we were going to be introducing in the first season of Space Command that we hadn't gotten to yet, so that allowed us to do little previews with Armin Shimmerman and Christina Moses and Barbara Bain from Space 1999. She's in Space Command too.
Wow.
And so that 2-hour episode was a gift to our fans during the pandemic. It's called Ripple Effect, and that's on Mr. Sci-Fi as well. And then I wrote a short story about this character that I play in Space Command, this character called the Grizzled Space Jockey. And so there's on Mr. Sci-Fi, there's me reading that short story. It appeared in an anthology called Space 1975.
It sounds like you have just a wealth of information. So if they go to your YouTube channel, you have all kinds of, there's so much more than just this, couple of episodes. You can be immersed in the world of Space Command, which, by the way, I completely agree is a needed, hopeful thing for us to look forward to in the future. Mark, you're doing such an amazing job. We are so happy to be helping you out, and we look forward to seeing what you do next.
Thanks. And the Kickstarter campaign is spacecommandkickstarter.com. So there's plenty of stuff to buy there and be the coolest kid on your block.
We'll include a link to that below too, so people can go there.
Thanks.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I wasn't able to enjoy as much because we didn't have to set up for 3 people. But
I love the little fat guy you got in the middle there.
Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed a lot of your work as well. And Space Command, like Shane said, is the best fan film I've ever seen.
Thanks. Well,
independent film.
Yeah. Yes. Independent television.
Independent film.
But again, I don't. I'm a fan. I mean, I don't find that a pejorative comment at all because, I grew up, idolizing Twilight Zone, Star Trek, Outer Limits, the original versions of that, and then I got to meet all those writers at science fiction conventions. I mean, we're so lucky that our heroes, we can meet them in person thanks to conventions. We can go there. It's not like Hollywood where someone can say, well, I'd like to meet Brad Pitt. Well, good luck with that. But if you say,
last time I went to a Star Trek convention, I went to go meet the new Spock, and that wasn't possible. He was definitely treated like he was a massive celebrity at the time. I was waved out. I needed a ticket to go see him. It was not great.
No, but still, I'm still very much a fan, and I'm very glad to be part of this amazing world. I've been very lucky. I've been a professional writer since I was 19, and writing for TV since I was 22. I started writing the Twilight Zone book when I was 21, so very, very lucky. So great. So is there anything else, guys?
No, thank you so much, Mark, and hopefully we'll get you back on the show next time. We'll get some more news, and good luck.
Anytime. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm here whenever you want me. So, okay, great. Take care.
That's awesome. I'll see you later. Thank you, Mark.
Okay. So great.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. Love, it's funny. People don't realize, how much Mark has written. You go through his IMDb and you see some of the things he's touched. It's really amazing.
It's a lot.
How much of our science fiction history he's really been a part of. So honestly, guys, if you haven't seen Space Command, I'm telling you, it is worth the watch, and very curious to see what happens. It's one of those shows that you look at it and go, I think it could be picked up and taken someplace under the right circumstances. And I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. I was scrolling through it while you guys are talking. It was, he's just done so much.
Yeah.
He's just been here for so long doing so much. A lot of good stuff. A lot of favorite episodes attributed to his work.
Big part of my childhood, for sure.
All right, let's talk about some more science fiction. But guess what? You don't know it's science fiction yet until I explain to you why. So stick around for Army of the Dead review. It would have been nice to have like a transition where I stick around for, and it's like Army of the Dead. But Didn't
Yeah,
have
no,
time
that
for
would be cool, like a thing and like a little mini commercial for
Right.
go
Okay.
to the Discord server for podcast.
We're talking about Army of the Dead. And yes, we also have a Discord server. Forgot to say that. If you're watching this after the fact, go check out the Discord server. Boom.
Links below.
Link are below. Okay. Talking about Army of the Dead. This is the Army of the Dead review, which I just remembered I forgot to put our other Army of the Dead thing before this.
You know, it came out today, which is amazing. It came out this morning, right?
Yeah, we meant to put out an Army of the Dead story about an hour ago, and I got so distracted with this.
It's been a busy morning. Yeah.
So, anyways, that'll be up on the PCU channel, but the timing is weird. So let's just talk about the review.
Okay.
I enjoyed the film, but before I get into my opinions, let's give you a brief description of this. It is by Zack Snyder, the guy who did coincidentally also make Dawn of the Dead. So you gotta be thinking
2004. Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead 2004, and now he's doing the Army of the Dead. They're probably the same in the same universe, right? Same cinematic universe?
Probably.
Nah, not really.
Maybe not.
So that's number one. Dawn of the Dead is one of those movies that did put Zack Snyder on the map. It was his first really successful project. So it is not in the same universe, according to Zack. I actually thought it was because it's talking about zombies. It's similar place, similar characters, but it's not. So, number one, yes, by Zack, he did do Dawn of the Dead, and now he's doing Army of the Dead. What's it about? It's about a group of, let's call them specialists.
Mercenaries. Yeah.
Mercenaries. Currently not doing their mercenarying. Whatever it's called.
Mercenary.
And they're approached by a very rich guy. His name is Tanaka. In the movie, he's actually played by... I had this up. Oh, you know what? I had his name up, but I can't pronounce it anyways. Hiroyuki Sanada.
Okay.
Right? Is that how you pronounce it? Hunter?
It's Hiroyuki Sanada. Yes. You got it.
Yeah.
You seem lost.
Yeah, the weird thing though, the reason I'm tripping out right now because they gave him the name they have on IMDb is not Tanaka, but his name was Tanaka. So.
Okay.
Anyways, okay, so he's approached them and he goes, "Look, I got $200 million at the bottom of in the basement of my casino.
Right.
I need you to go get it. You know, you have 2 days. Why do they have 2 days? Because in 2 days, the United States government is going to nuke Las Vegas. Why? Because Las Vegas has been infested with zombies. Why? There's so much to add here. So, regardless, these guys, you know, they take the gig. There's a lot of little things going on where like one guy's going to betray him and more than I want to get into, but they go into Vegas, which is infested with zombies, to get this $200 million. A lot of stuff happens. Most of them don't make it out. Most don't make it out. Or get the money, and it's a whole thing. But the reason I'm telling you this description, I'm going to spoil the movie anyways, but I don't want to spoil the movie to the point where I spoil the movie every single beat for you. But I want to explain the premise. It is a zombie heist film. On the surface, that's what it is. On the surface, this is a zombie heist film.
Okay.
Once you watch it, and if you're quick, you'll realize it's not actually a zombie movie.
Okay, but there are zombies in the movie.
Sure, there are things that resemble zombies in the movie.
Well, there's different types, to be fair.
But are they zombies?
So one type for sure is zombies.
Yeah, sort of.
And then another type maybe is not.
So
maybe
if you classify zombies as people that were once people, then get infected, they don't die easy unless you pump in the head. all right, as zombies, then sure. But these zombies, the ones you're referring to, because there's 2 types of zombies, 3 types technically. But the least type of zombie in the movie, apparently, when they're out in the sun too long, they dry up and just die. But then when
a little rain brings them back,
they rehydrate and come back to life
for a few hours.
Right, until they dry up again.
Yeah, it's unique, man. There's just some weird stuff going on here.
But it's a lot like certain types of bacteria and spore. Then
which arguably is what turns people into zombies in most zombie movies, anyways.
Well, zombie movies, it's always referred to as a zombie virus.
A virus or bacteria, but it's pretty close.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars because it was entertaining as hell on the surface. Absolutely. On the surface, though, the reason it's not getting more than 3, even though it was entertaining as hell, there were things that I didn't like. I didn't like how ridiculous his daughter was. Then I remembered I have a daughter and she's also ridiculous. So.
Okay, well, a couple things that we can just add to this before we start. First off, Army of the Dead clocks in at about 2 hours and 28 minutes. It's on Netflix. So the good thing about it being on Netflix is, the time constraints don't seem to be such a big deal. It's directing Zack Snyder, but it's starring Dave Bautista, of course, known best for Guardians of the Galaxy, the giant hulking man, and Ella Purnell and Ana de la Reguera. So, and also, of course, Tig Notaro.
Which we're going to be talking about Dave later, too, so stick around. So, so on the surface, it's a very entertaining movie. And I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars on the surface because it's so entertaining, but there's weird things. But there's things I didn't like about it. But then, I almost wanted to add a star for how clever Zack Snyder is.
Well, because he adds a star to everything he does.
No, but this movie particularly, okay, I'm going to be really clear. If you were really paying attention, and I have a feeling, Shane, that when you were watching this movie, you weren't really paying attention. You were paying attention, but I bet you got phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
And you had text messages.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And your wife and me probably interrupted you multiple times. And
it's the way it is.
Right. So there's these little things that if you miss it, you're really in trouble for how much you're going to enjoy this franchise because they are making a franchise.
Sorta. TV show.
Well, no, they're committed to 2 more episodes, which they're movies. 2 more episodes, 2 more movies.
Right. Well, it's going to be very, and that's something I want to talk about. So let's get through the movie first because I do want to talk about this whole TV movie thing.
Okay, so now I want to give it 4 out of 5 stars, but the reason I'm giving it 3 is because I know there's a lot of people that are going to miss all the things I'm about to bring up right now. So on the surface, straight up, as a zombie movie, with people that are watching it distracted by their phones and whatnot, you watch it, it's entertaining, it's fun, and the soundtrack is amazing. It's amazing. So the soundtrack is amazing. So I'm like, 3 out of 5 stars on the surface. Now, as a dedicated, hardcore science fiction fan, this deserves 4 out of 5 stars, and let me tell you why. Shane, can I tell him why?
Yes, you should. That's what we're waiting for.
It's not a zombie movie.
You 5 minutes.
It's not a zombie movie. This is about an alien invasion.
Yeah. So they got it right in the beginning. Got it.
So in the beginning, right, when they first start, they're making jokes in the car. What are we transporting? Mm-hmm. Oh, we're transporting aliens? That joke,
coming from Area 51. Yeah.
Right. And then you find out they're just joking around. They're not transporting an alien. It's a zombie. It gets out. And it kills them. And the person on the phone he goes, horseman, whatever. This is the horseman. What do we do? This guy, this thing, get out of there. They're basically like, get out of there. That thing's insane. Well, they didn't listen because soldiers are stupid, apparently, in movies. Because in real life, I know plenty of soldiers in real life that would have listened. The second they said get out of there, there wouldn't have been a question. They would have bounced. That guy took 45 minutes to actually leave the area. You deserve to die. Anyways, the thing gets out. This alpha zombie, which is what you think it is, and it kills these guys, or it turns them, or whatever. And then it goes into Vegas. And it starts destroying Vegas. All these zombies. It's zombie apocalypse in Vegas. And the government blocks Vegas off. And a whole lot of stuff happens. The soundtrack was so good in that series. When they're showing you the main characters and how they got out of Vegas. And
well, you're a big crooner kind of guy. So you really like that kind of stuff. I would give it about a half a star.
You don't like Frank Sinatra?
I like a little bit of Frank, but it was perfect because it was Vegas, and that's what the music is kind of known for. And it had, an Elvis impersonator that was now zombified. And it was a very good dystopian Vegas. I agree.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. The whole setting is awesome. If you've been to, I love Vegas. Most people that's been to Vegas, they love Vegas. Vegas is great. And because the setting is so Vegas, like you recognize things, which is awesome. Yeah. But so this alpha zombie takes over Vegas, right? But remember, he's being transported from Roswell, from Area 51. That's where he's being transported from. That's the first clue. Here's the second clue. He's not actually a zombie. Now, he turns somebody. That person turns into someone like him, right? They turn to like a sentient, angry, freaking humanoid.
Okay.
Now, when the secondary zombies bite people, those people turn into brainless idiots that apparently dry out, die, and then come back to life when it rains, like spores do or something, or bacteria. Whatever it is. Now, these things are sentient, though. Now, here's the first clue. He's having a baby with one of the other quote-unquote zombies. Right? So the big bad alpha guy has a baby, is having a baby, and he just goes crazy when she dies.
Right.
He pulls the baby out of it. The baby's blue. The baby's like a glowing blue, and then it just sort of like the light goes out. That's the first clue. That's the second clue right there. The baby's like, third clue. The second clue is the fact that these things are sentient and like they understand things. Well, here's the third and final clue. All right, before I get into the bonus clues, is when they finally kill this thing in the helicopter, his brains are blue.
Okay.
And you only see it for a few frames. When they kill him, the brain splatter is like blue. Okay. Blue brains, blue baby. The fact that he's having a baby at all. The fact that he's sentient and completely in his element. He was being transported from Area 51. They make the joke that it might be an alien, but they don't actually say that. And I love how they don't actually say it.
Yes, they're very careful about things.
Right. And then here's the bonus clue that this is science fiction. Is when
it's science fiction anyways, but yeah.
I'm sorry?
It's science fiction anyways. Zombies are science fiction.
But it's not purely a zombie film.
Gotcha.
When they're breaking into the vault, there's a group of people that were there before them also trying to break in the vault. And when he goes, these stupid idiots, they complain about the way they broke in or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he mentions that they're wearing similar clothing. And the guy played by, I love this guy, Omari. He played his names are hard. He played a character called Vandero.
Mm-hmm.
But played by Omari Hardwick, which, by the way, I love this guy. He's been in a lot of good stuff. I also love the guy who played Martin, the government dude. Been a lot of good stuff. He was in Sarah Chronicles. But anyways, Vandero goes, he makes a joke. He's like, what if they're us? We're stuck in this crazy time loop. And, we basically come here, we die, and then it repeats itself, and Tanaka is some kind of god just messing with us. And they laugh it off, right?
Right. The
camera pans over the bodies, okay? One of the bad bodies is wearing the same exact necklace. The same exact. Listen, it's not similar clothes, guys. It's the exact same clothes. I had to pause it 5 times. Guys, the female character, dead body, is wearing the same exact necklace as the current alive female lead, is played by Huma Korisha. Man, these names are hard. Okay, she plays Jita. Jesus, guys, come on. So Jita wearing the same necklace as Jita's wearing. Same exact necklace as you know,
You can say Sammy Zach Nicholas again because that's like 5 times.
sorry, but I can't get over it. It's not. There's nothing different about it. It's the same. So no, listen. When someone's wearing boots and army fatigues and that kind of thing, you're like, oh, it's similar, you know. But a necklace is very special, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, one of the characters is also wearing the same flowered shirt and wearing the same scarf, and those were the people that died down there. Okay, which is coincidentally hilarious. The people that ends up dying back there in actuality were the same people that they were representing as corpses that died.
Okay.
So it didn't make it into the movie, but I'm pretty sure that has something to do with what's going on here.
Well, there's more to come. So it's well, let's just say this: the story is the real hero of this film, of this movie,
right?
Because it is. And the fact I love Dave Bautista, I do. I like pretty much everything he's in. My only complaint would be that Dave can't carry a movie as a lead.
Yeah,
he is more of a, part of. He's really good part. He's great in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's great in Blade Runner. He's and in this movie, I feel like there's something missing, and it's that lead character that really just drives the film.
Yeah, he's a reactionary actor, and more often than not, lead actors that are supposed to carry a movie can't be reactionary like that.
Yeah, and he's missing a little spark. There's something just missing. He adds to movies. He doesn't lead movies. And the only complaint I had would be that this story really is carried by the story and by the twists and by what Zack Snyder's creating. The actors, I felt like there was just a lot left on the table there. Nobody really stole the film. Nobody really lifted up. And for that reason, it was a little bland.
Tig Navarro did really good.
She did what she does. She did what she does. She's sarcastic. She's, smart mouthy.
Notaro.
And she does what she does. And she did it well, which was cool. But nobody stole the film.
No. I'm sorry. The character I was talking about was not Gita. It was Maria Cruz.
Ana de la Reguera? Yeah. Yeah,
Maria Cruz wasn't just... the character Maria Cruz I didn't believe. So I didn't like it either. The actress is okay. She does okay in dramatic roles. I did not see her doing good in this. It just didn't look right to me. Wasn't the right character to play this role. I think
it's a fun movie.
Huh?
It's a fun movie. It's something people should definitely go watch.
On that note, though, like I said, Amari Hardwick was awesome. Awesome. Coincidentally, also one of the only people to survive, a la, Indiana Jones, Crystal of the Kingdom Skull style, right?
Right. Yeah.
Nuke hits the city, and he's inside this like hardcore vault. So apparently he lives. Coincidentally, he walks through like a bunch of fallout, which I'm assuming is not healthy for you.
Can't be, yeah.
Right, but he does live through it. He has a ton of money with him. Basically, like buys a plane or rents a plane. Goes into the bathroom, and this was interesting. He goes in the bathroom and sees the bite mark on him. Now, there's a couple ways to take it, and I love how they left this open, Shane. It's so good. First off, every other zombie's dead. Quote unquote zombie, alien, whatever you want to call it. Right. They've all died. They got tactical nuke. The only remaining zombie then would be Amari, right?
Right.
But he was bitten by the big bad alpha.
Okay.
So he was bitten by the main alien, right? Zombie, whatever. And he didn't die. And I think a part of the process when you get bitten by this spore or bacteria or whatever this franchise decides to go with, I don't think it's a virus, because the way it interacts with water is very special. I think it's some kind of bacteria or spore. And I think that the only way for it to really take over your brain is for you to die. I think you have to be dead. I think when he was turning those people inside the hotel, he would bite them and then throw them down in the pool to the other zombies. I think that he was biting them and then killing them, so they would come back as one of his alphas, right?
Right.
So this guy is in the bathroom. He starts laughing because he realizes how ridiculous it is. He literally lived through a zombie apocalypse, a nuclear apocalypse, and he came out the other side with millions of dollars. He's on the way to paradise, and he sees that he has this bite mark on him. So he starts laughing because it's ridiculously, horribly ironic. And it's funny how they were playing Isn't It Ironic, actress at some point right before that. So, I'm a singer. So what happens is, I think, and they left it open because I think that that bite looked like it was healing. There was some scabbing around the edges as if it was healing. Number one.
Okay.
There was also some like dark, veiny areas going on, which I don't think he's gonna die from it. I think that you have to die for that spore. I'm assuming spore to really to take over you. And I think that if you don't die, I think that if you're still in working order, that spore might benefit. We might see a dude that has the abilities, maybe the aggression of that big bad alpha guy, but also millions of dollars in a plane where he can go anywhere on the planet. We might see him really, like, it's a big deal in the next film. He might be the antagonist, perhaps. He also might be like this hybrid thing, which might be really cool. And considering that between him and Tig and Dave, Bautista,
yeah.
those are my favorite characters, really. And I think Tig is still alive, by the way, too. So we saw Tig unconscious, but we didn't see her alive or dead, just unconscious. Dave and his daughter survived that crash, but his daughter had to put a bullet in him because he had turned. So I think that Tig survived. So I think Tig and 2 out of my 3 favorite characters from this movie survived, technically.
Okay, well, that's cool. Well, they got a couple of things to contend with because they also have this project, Army of the Dead Las Vegas. It's an upcoming spin-off anime-style streaming television series.
Oh, okay.
So that's supposed to use the same actors are going to reprise their roles for the show. So they're going to be lending their voices. And there's also some sort of live action thing.
What that is a prequel.
Yeah, they're going to do the prequel. Right.
That's going to show how they all got out of the city.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this, where this goes next. I'm very curious to see what the response is going to be. I don't see anything in production. You said there's supposed to be 3 movies total?
Yes. Netflix made a commitment with Zack Snyder. His contract gives him 3 Dead movies.
Okay. So, I mean, what we do know is that regardless, Zach is he always spins some sort of really great tale. So this is worthy of watching. You should go watch it for sure. And then to see where he's going to take it, because he's obviously going to take us on an adventure. So over the next overall 3 movies. So in my opinion, just for that reason alone, it's definitely worth a watch.
Here's the deal, guys.
Fine.
I don't like zombie movies. I've been on. If you've seen our channel for a while, you know I don't like zombie movies. I'm not a fan. I used to at one point, but now that every zombie movie is basically and zombie TV show, in my opinion, is basically the same thing. Zombies chasing me. I make mistake. I die to zombies. I don't make mistakes. I don't die to zombies. And the movie usually ends with me going somewhere I maybe can be safe. Every zombie movie is basically the same thing. Right? Need to get out of the city. Find this one last place where humans are alive. Okay. I get it. I'm so over this genre. I cannot tell you. Every time I hear zombie movies being made, I just have this internal sigh. Because I don't care at all. Because they're all the same. And they try to switch up the genre a little bit when they have this zombie that fell in love with a character. And you're like, okay, that's too ridiculous for me to get behind.
That was different, yeah. So what's your point? But you said this isn't a zombie movie.
Technically different. But listen, I'm so tired of zombie crap that when I see zombie crap, I go, ugh. But this movie introduced ideas that go, wait a minute, it might not be a zombie flick.
There you go.
It introduced enough extra. So I feel like this genre is being, he's adding to it, which I didn't think you could add to it. I never even considered the idea of an alien virus that's cool. And I love that but I love this too. The government didn't, like in every zombie movie, when there's a zombie outbreak, somehow within 2 days, the entire country is a dystopian nightmare.
Right.
Every single zombie movie you see is the same. Oh, small town, zombie outbreak. 2 days later, the whole world's on fire.
Right.
Come on. And this zombie movie, Vegas, one of the most populated places on the planet. Okay? Well, I mean, I should say year around because tourists go there. Maybe not population wise, right? But it's a lot of people. Well, it gets hit by a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas. What does the government do? Immediately surround that thing. They surround it, they quarantine, they abuse their power like the government does, but those zombies ain't going anywhere. And then they go, we're nuking it. That is the way the government should always respond to a zombie outbreak.
Well, in this case, though, it was easy because it happened to be Las Vegas, which Las Vegas is in the middle of nowhere all by itself.
Okay.
So it happened to be, if this happens in Los Angeles or New York City or any other, Chicago, it's going to be a whole lot harder to stop it, in all fairness.
Still, in all fairness, it doesn't take. Why is it always 2 days later the entire human race is dead? I mean, I refuse to believe.
Is it 2 days? I mean, maybe.
That 96.5% of people out there are so dumb, they're just so stupid that they will immediately be turned into cattle for zombies. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I saw a crazy guy running down the street with blood on him. I'm like, yo, I'm not going outside.
Yeah, they come in and get you.
Lock
You
the
need to watch
door.
more
They're dumb.
movies.
Zombies are dumb.
Yeah, some of them are. Lately, it seems like World War Z and Zombieland and a lot of these guys. These zombies seem to be really fast. And
that was my main problem with World War Z. Because I liked the fact that the zombies were scarier and like more of a problem. But it was so quick, bro. It was like instantaneous. And the only like surviving city is the one that just happened to have a giant wall. Like, come on, bro. Headshots kill all. Literally, so that's what we know about every zombie flick, right? Every zombie we've ever seen, even this one, shoot him in the head. That's it. We're done. Game over.
There's got to be a way to get rid of them.
So I don't understand why in every movie how the whole world gets infested with zombies instantly. Like, what's the United States? What did the Japanese say during World War II? There's a gun behind every blade of grass. I mean, listen.
That's not the way it is.
I don't know where you fall on gun rights, but I'll tell you this right now. If zombies broke out in the United States, there should be plenty of ammunition to deal with them. And every movie starts with the United States. It's not starting with, Timbuktu or whatever.
Yes, right. But the zombie story is about the individual. It's not about a government. It's always about the individual. It's about the person. Zombie stories aren't about zombies.
I know you like that. I know I'm crapping on your zombie movie.
No, I'm not saying that. Zombie stories are about the survivors. They're not about zombies. It's a human story about survivors. So I would say that the reason why is if government just gets in the way of that. So if you had big government trying to save everybody, you wouldn't have a story about survivors. So in movies, at least, maybe realistically, if zombies were real, maybe realistically there would be something like what we just saw in this movie. But if you're having a fantasy, then that's not it.
That part where the news guys are like, yes, they're going to nuke the city. President reportedly say that he thought it would be cool to do it on the 4th of July and sort of patriotic, don't you think? And I'm like, they must have made this movie when Trump was in office.
Probably. Well, yeah, they did, obviously, yeah.
Right. So like so they must have thought that they probably thought he was going to get a second term because like they sort of tailored it to like the way Trump talks.
But who knew who was coming? So.
But by the way, it would be cool to blow up Vegas with a nuke on the 4th of July because zombies live there. I don't care where you land. Seeing a giant mushroom cloud during the 4th of July defeating what would probably be our worst possible enemy would be awesome. Okay?
Very true. Very true. Army of the Dead. Get out there, Netflix. It's on there now. You guys go check it out.
3 out of 5 stars minimum. If you get past all the other stuff, I would say 4 out of 5 stars. And the fact that it's free means that my star review means nothing. Just go watch.
It's not free. It's not free.
I mean, it's
not free. See, this is what's happened with streaming. We haven't talked about it.
They have
isn't
Netflix.
free.
They have Netflix.
But I will say there is very little new movies out, new content. So everybody should rush to go see this because I'm desperate for new movies.
Hey, it did come out on theaters too.
Did it really?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Really?
Came out in theaters first and then Netflix.
Well, I guess I missed that.
Yeah, you did.
All right, thanks.
Okay, I almost hit stop right now because I'm not used to.
Let's
streaming.
talk about it in our Discord channel, guys. When you get a chance, go check out the link below. Join our Discord channel, and let's talk with other Popcast fans there.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and check out our Discord channel because there's more people in there. We need that place popping. Get in there, babies. All right, let's talk about some more Dave Bautista, shall we, Shane?
The shirtless Dave Bautista.
So, Dave Bautista is going to be exiting the MCU after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Let's just call it what it is. 3. It's Volume 3 because they want to be clever. But it's 3. It's the third movie, right?
Yeah.
And a big reason of it is his shirtless scenes.
Well, they go through to talk about this story. This is actually a really great story because it goes to talk about how, basically 3 movies, typically a trilogy. James Gunn is not going to do any more than 3. And Bautista's already said that he's not going to do any more movies. He won't do any without Gunn.
Right.
So,
which makes sense. This guy is really big on the actors the directors and writers that he works with.
Yeah, he is.
And to be
they're
fair,
all very loyal.
To be fair, even he's like we've discussed, he's a good guy, but he's not really a lead actor, right?
Right.
Well, if you look at his list of movies he's been in, he's picked some good ones.
He has. Yeah. In fact, he's got stuff coming up. He's going to be in Dune. He's going to be in the Knives Out sequel. So he's got a lot of stuff coming up. But he's not going to do Guardians of the Galaxy without James Gunn. And honestly, frankly speaking, you shouldn't do Guardians of the Galaxy without James Gunn.
Right.
Because the guy is pretty much a genius for this film trilogy.
Yeah, what else is James? Isn't James Gunn doing something? Oh, he's doing Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, he's very funny. He's very similar to the guy who did he's very similar to him in his humor and his style, and it really makes for some great movies. Dave Bautista is saying here that basically, look, he's I think he's 54 now.
Yep.
It's getting harder and harder to maintain the muscle mass necessary to be Drax. And so, after 3 movies, or by the time the third movie comes out, he'll be 54. It's just going to be too hard for him to maintain that. And he wants the character to look the way it's supposed to look. So it makes sense. As a man, you can only carry that mass around so long as you get older.
I know, right? Imagine that. 54 years old. I can't even get the extra weight off. And this guy's trying to maintain what is basically a specimen of perfection constantly.
Right. I mean,
I gotta say, it's been good for him though as an actor that he's always ready to go when it comes to these action films. Because if you look at Vin Diesel between the last 2 filmings, that dude was looking portly, bro.
Yeah. Well, this guy is also a champion WWE wrestler. He's used to being in great shape. You look at guys like John Cena, The Rock. I mean, this is just the lifestyle. So they're used to being in this kind of shape. Vin Diesel doesn't have that hard work ethic behind him.
Yeah, I'm sure his contract was up too, though. You can't just renege on a deal with Disney, anyways.
No, but 3 movies. I mean, it makes sense. It's the right time. I just thought it was interesting that Screen Rant puts out this article, about the shirtless scenes. I just thought that was interesting. You're trying to get attention, of course, to your story, but after looking at it closer, the real reason why is because that's just the end of the trilogy. It makes more sense. And he wants to go on and do more things.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be typecast as Drax. Yeah, plus James Gunn is leaving. I like how he says that, though. It's harder and harder for me to maintain that. I think he's probably saying that more tongue-in-cheek with Nellen. in my opinion. Right? It was
Well,
Ellen,
yeah.
right?
He did it on Ellen, yeah.
Isn't Ellen wrapping up her stuff too?
Yeah, Ellen's done. Her show's ending, and
He'll be a part of this one too, Love and Thunder. So I forgot to mention that. So he'll be in
Love and
another
Thunder.
movie after that too.
yeah. Oh, yeah. What do they got coming out before Guardians 3? Something else is coming out.
Thor,
It's,
Love and Thunder.
Okay. Yeah, it's great. We love watching Dave.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm good with that. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It's my probably my favorite of like the standalone Marvel. You know.
Oh, 100%. I mean, look at the cast that's surrounding him. They got so lucky with all of these actors.
They really did.
You know, to bring them in. When you think about the combination, it's really hard to get an ensemble cast that just meshes together so well.
Yeah.
And you know, Dave as Drax. Drax is hilarious.
He's so
I mean,
funny.
so funny.
Yeah, you know, I saw some of that humor in Army of the Dead, by the way. The deadpan way he responds to Tanaka when he's like, hey, you got the valor of freedom. And he goes, listen, I'm aware of my situation. So it's great.
Right. Yeah, there was a little bit of that there. You know, you got Bradley Cooper. I mean, look, Vin Diesel's even in that movie. So as Groot.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You know,
dude, listen, the carry for that, like the real core player in Guardians of the Galaxy, in my opinion, is your boy
Chris Pratt. Yeah, 100%. It's Chris Pratt, and you know,
Chris Pratt proved you can go from comedy sidekick to leading action star. You could. He was a chunky, you know, dim-witted character on Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
He played. He wasn't even a permanent cast member for the first 2 seasons of that show. By the way,
right?
he was always a guest coming on randomly. Fans loved him so much they made him a permanent addition to the show, and like literally made entire episodes about him and his April, and then he turned that into an actual leading man job. Like, and he lost the weight, he got fit, and his character and the way he responds to things is just, he can pull it off.
Yeah. He's got that thing, you know, and we talk about this. We talked about this in other segments. He has the spark, you know. It's like going back to Cheers all those years ago and watching Woody Harrelson, who basically played a dim-witted character on a really popular TV show, and he spins that off into an amazing acting career.
Right.
You know, and Chris Pratt needs to continue knocking out and taking these Jurassic Worlds, Guardians of the Galaxy. He needs to continue moving in that way, and with his charisma on screen, I think he can keep doing it.
Speaking of Woody Harrelson, next week we got to talk about the new Venom movie with Woody Harrelson, because that Woody Harrelson hasn't been around. We haven't seen him for a while.
It's true. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about, you know, Zoe Saldana really quick. You know, because she's, of course, was in the Star Treks, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. She's been in a lot of sci-fi stuff. So, and she's a really huge part of this. She plays a really good foil for Chris Pratt's character.
She does.
You know, and I think I'm really looking forward to the next movie. And this will be one of those trilogies that you just kind of rewatch over and over again. You know, it's going to be really fantastic.
I agree with that, my friend. And you know what? I think the Army of the Dead trilogy will be one you rewatch over and over again, too, once you realize what it really is.
Well, maybe. We'll see. I mean, like I said, that was enjoyable, but it was, you know, not super over the top. It wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy good.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, before we move on, remember this one last thing. You got to like this video. If you're not subscribed, somehow you're watching this video, hit that button. And you know what? While you're down there hitting that button, click on the link that says Discord. Head over to Discord and join the conversation. Not only do you get stuff ahead of time, but you get to like chat with us, and we're really like, we're around. I know we're huge YouTubers and all that, you know, but we actually talk to our fans, our many 14 fans. Okay.
Dude, I got to tell you, my wife makes an amazing smoothie. I just want to like point this out.
Thanks. I've eaten all day. I've had nothing but Red Bull and Topo Chico. I don't know if you know what this is. It's like sparkling water.
Nope, not a clue.
It's like cheap,
it looks wrong.
Just cheap mineral water. And you're making me jealous right now, because before the show, my plan was to make a smoothie so I could sit here and sip it with you, but we couldn't delay it at all. Like normally, sometimes we delay it, but like this time we had a guest on and we didn't want to delay him. So
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, my wife brought it out to me. You know, it was
thanks
great.
for distracting me, bro. Now I really want to get to burn through this so I can get my smoothie.
Moving on.
Moving on. Let's talk about why the Enterprise wasn't called the Enterprise. Wasn't called Star Trek Enterprise for the first 2 seasons, and I found this article fascinating.
Oh yes, tell us more.
I'm going to tell you why. So, in a nutshell, because this is what a lot of these news sites like. They throw out headlines and they do they're like we're saying, they're writers. They're very good at hooking you into a click, right?
right.
So initially, I really thought this was gonna have some kind of like really like sort of like story. Like who cares?
Right.
It was because it was named that, but they forgot it on the title or something stupid. But in reality, and here's the crazy part. What actually happened, what's wrong with you? Why would I show you the article? I mean, I guess I could show you the article. Here you go.
You can. I mean, people like to see it.
Yeah.
Probably better than looking at our faces.
So, I'm just going to explain. I'm not going to read it. Basically, what happened was Berman was making a new Star Trek show. The ratings for the previous 2 Star Trek shows, Deep Space Nine and Voyager, were waning. They weren't doing great. He was like, I want to make a new Star Trek show. I want to make sure that people know there's a difference, but wants it to have a connection to the shows. So, and I don't want people to be turned off by the word Star Trek immediately, which we thought like normies were being turned off by Star Trek. So he goes, I'm going to call it Enterprise, because Enterprise is synonymous with Star Trek regardless, right? Let me call it Enterprise. It's going to be about the first Enterprise. It's going to have all the same Star Trek-y stuff, but it's going to be called Enterprise. Now what happened was, and this is what he says. What happened was, after the first 2 seasons, they realized that the ratings weren't getting any better. In fact, they were even worse than DS9 and Voyager.
Right.
He was like, oh, well, might as well add Star Trek back to it, which coincidentally, when the ratings went up.
Hey, because Star Trek is why people show up.
Right. Guys, I'm actually a little tired of this. I'm tired of studios thinking they really understand their audience, because I don't think they do. And let me explain.
Not even remotely close.
Huh?
Studios have no idea.
Yeah, they have no understanding of the base of people that are like keeping them in jobs.
No. It's proof today with what's going on today.
Right. Like they go, oh well, Voyager and Deep Space Nine, they were still successful. By the way, still very successful television shows. But they weren't getting the same numbers TNG was getting. They were losing viewers. So Star Trek must have a problem. Let's distance ourselves from Star Trek while making a Star Trek show. What do you think that does to the hardcore fans that have been propping you up for 30 years?
Yeah.
I mean, you need to lean into those fans. And by the way, it's not just Star Trek. Let's face it, Stargate did the same thing with Stargate Universe. Instead of making a third show, that you need to take what works, take what everybody loves, and expand on it. Make it better. Amplify it, right? Add to it. Don't take what they love, completely change the format, the style, the character, the character arcs, all that, and make another show with a similar name to try to get more fans because Battlestar had more viewers. Let's make a Battlestar show and call it Star. That was the wrong way to do it. That alienated the fan base that you had already sold. Like, you already sold these people. They're sold on it. They're going to show up no matter what. Let's alienate those guys to make what? Let me ask you a question, Shane. What's better than one bird in your hand?
A whole bunch of them.
I'm sorry, 2 birds in the bush. 1 bird in your hand. Sorry, I messed with the quote. So, you ever hear the quote?
I thought that's where you're going.
Sorry, if you ever hear the quote, 1 bird in your hand is better than 2 in the bush. What that represents is, I have 1 bird. There might be 2 in the bush. I would love to get those 2 birds, but it's a risk that I have to let go of 1 to use both hands to get the 2, right?
fair. Yep.
So you have that. You have these fans. Grow these fans. Don't discard them. Hope that they stick around while you chase another group of fans. Expand your niche, man. I'm not even a movie executive. I'm a lowly YouTuber. And I understand that if you stay in your niche and you slowly grow that niche, it's going to get better for you. But these studios, their entire mentality is not like, let's make art that people love. It's more like, let's plagiarize art that people already love. And if this art is doing slightly better, we're going to transform our already plagiarized art into this other plagiarized art that's doing slightly better. And they just constantly sort of, I don't even want to evolve. It's not evolve, mutate their properties to try to get the most out of them, when in reality they're leaving fans behind. And that's what I like Berman. Okay, I know some people don't. I liked Berman.
How can you not like Berman?
Maybe it's, people don't like him as a person or whatever. I don't care about that. I didn't know the guy personally. I'm saying as a Star Trek writer, the guy gave me some of my best Star Trek of my childhood, right? And
he created the best Star Trek, yes.
Right. So I don't care about his personal life. That's nothing to do with Star Trek. What I do know about Star Trek is that the best Star Trek came from Berman, right? So if the best Star Trek came from Berman, even Berman thought that taking Star Trek away from the name Enterprise, I mean, that's the most valuable part of the name.
Yeah.
Like there are people, like I know this as someone who worked in the merch industry. People pay thousands and thousands of dollars a year to be able to put Star Trek on some toys, on some T-shirts. And when I say that, I'm talking about like it might cost $50,000 in license rights to put Star Trek on a T-shirt. That is how valuable that name is. So removing it from your show because other Star Trek shows, started to lose their viewer base toward the end of their run. Ugh.
It's just so typical because what they're doing, like you mentioned it before with Stargate. Stargate universe was created. Star Trek or Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis were successful. Instead of just tripling down and doing something like that and continuing, they're like, well, we need to make something new.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with Star Trek. Voyager, Deep Space Nine, successful. Let's do something new. The good thing they did is they brought in Scott Bakula. So that's true. And the good thing is they had a great theme song.
And no, you're right about Bakula. First off, you're right about that entire cast. The entire cast of Star Trek Enterprise was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The girl that plays T'Pol, Angela Black, I believe her name was something. I don't know. Okay, Black.
Yeah, her last name is Black. Yeah,
her last name is Black. But if you ever see her in other movies,
Jolene Black. I think it's Jolene Black.
You see her in other movies or TV shows and movies, they are so different. It requires me to go like, why does this person look vaguely familiar?
Oh yeah,
because she plays a different. She's not the same person, right?
No, she acted fantastically in Enterprise. She was a Vulcan through and through.
Yeah,
and she was in Stargate SG-1 as well.
She was.
I think so. Yeah, wasn't she in a later episode of Stargate SG-1?
She probably was. No, but but the cast was good. The theme song, in my opinion, was them also trying to distance themselves from Star Trek. Because every show around that time had a popular pop song in the theme song.
Okay, I would say this: they weren't distancing themselves from Star Trek as much as they were trying to keep the Star Trek ball rolling by changing it so that it would be new audiences would find it different and refreshing. The problem is that never is successful. Please give me an instance in history where you've changed a franchise so much that everybody's like, yay, the franchise is different. I have yet to see a franchise go through some sort of transformation where you change the thing that works and into something different. I haven't seen. Can you think of anything?
I can't think of a single. It's not a single series that has worked on.
It doesn't make sense, and so I don't know.
Wait. Lost in Space, perhaps?
No, Lost in Space. Lost in Space was Lost in Space from, decades ago. And
Right,
then
but
Lost
they
in
did
Space now.
change it. Like the bad guy was like a chick now.
Well, that's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, let's say you've got this franchise that's cooking along, and all of a sudden you're like, well,
Right.
they
Oh,
do
so you're
something
not
new.
talking about a reboot. You're talking about continuation.
Yeah, I'm talking about keeping it going. Why change what works?
It's never worked.
And because you're tired. There's some sort of artistic loss to it, or something like that, or maybe part of it is you got to convince the networks. They're like, well, this isn't really working. We're losing our fan base. Like, well, check this out. We're going to do something totally different. The networks are like, yay, here's more money. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe these guys want to keep making something similar, but the networks are like, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe, but I don't see how the network that owns a super valuable name, Star Trek, is like, I think more like Berman wanted to take Star Trek off of it, and the network was like, well, Berman's given us 20 years of income. He knows what he's doing. I think that's different. I don't think he was like some like brand new showrunner coming into a new show. This is Berman, who literally had done the last 3 instances of Star Trek.
Right. Well, I guess Enterprise is the one show, if you're going to change the name, if you're going to take Star Trek off of it, pretty much the only thing you could do is do Enterprise, or maybe Picard, or maybe Kirk or Spock. I mean, maybe there's a few words you could use, but Enterprise is one of them.
Sure. Yeah, but that's why I found it fascinating, because I just saw executive studio crap all over it, and I was like, oh well, Berman trying to distance himself. Then I'm like, oh, maybe the studio was just giving Berman. I don't know. A lot of change were made. I gotta tell you though, that theme song, I know you love it. All right, I know you love it. I know you love it. And I'm not gonna dog the song. What I'm gonna say is it's such a '90s thing though, because even though it wasn't in the '90s, because at the end of the '90s, early 2000s,
It was
late
Rod
90s,
Stewart, man.
every single TV show had some pop song as its intro, right?
It was Rod Stewart, bro.
Let me finish, because right now, every TV show's intro is like, it's like 10 seconds at most.
Can you do that again?
It's like, so you had shows that would play an entire 3-minute song as their intro. Friends would play an entire 3 minutes. I mean, how many shows did this? Scrubs played the I'm Not Superman. Entire huge songs, every single thing. And now, in 2018, I've seen shows where their only intro is like the logo smashes on the screen for like 3 seconds and then it's back to the show. Supernatural.
Just like we do on YouTube.
Right, but that's what's happening. YouTube is basically like, it's like influencing real life. Because
because after like 36 seconds, people are like, okay, I'm switching channels.
Right.
Well, what's next?
Supernatural started off around the same time. Like they used to have like this Carry On My Wayward Son, and there's a lot to it. Toward the end, the last like 5 seasons of Supernatural, literally the word Supernatural would just come onto the screen in some theme, like Angel Wings or Demon Wings, or something, and it was gone. Back to the show. It was like 2 seconds of intro. It's really funny how much TV has evolved, but how much it's totally remained the same. Because there are aspects, facets of the business of television that have not changed since they started broadcasting. Since there was 2 channels and you can only watch TV for an hour a day. There are parts of that have never changed.
You're right.
85 years of studios doing the same exact thing. It is crazy.
It's changing now, so they better get ready. Streaming's changing everything. So
that's true. But the same guy, you ever hear that term, 7 seasons and a wedding, or 5 seasons and a wedding, or jumping the shark?
Right.
When did bottle episodes become an actual thing that, like, shows used to hide it? Like, it was a slang term initially, like, oh, it's the bottle episode, where we gotta like save money to like do the rest of the series. We don't have anybody know it. Now they take pleasure in informing their audience that it's a bottle episode, and then how clever they can get with it. It's crazy.
Probably Community.
Is that what it is?
It was Community, probably, yeah.
Community.
You know, they're doing everything so different.
Community did so good. Their bottle episode, though, was amazing. I mean,
That
Stargate
was
had a
intense.
good one, too.
Who?
Stargate had a good one, too.
Stargate, yeah.
Yeah, they had a bottle episode right before the last episode, and it literally caught the entire fan base up from like the very first episode up until that 200th episode. It caught you up. It was crazy. Great catch. Great catch up.
Great way to save money too.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's it for this story. So don't forget, like and subscribe and do all the stuff that every YouTuber tells you. But while you're down there, hit that little link that says Discord / click on it and join the conversation. We have literally a dozen fans waiting to talk to you.
You got to stop self-deprecating that, okay? Because the people in there are they're hard and they're ready to give you lots of attention.
They're amazing. Okay, moving on. All right, so we're going to talk about a little of a lighter topic here. You know, I'm so glad that we talked about all the angry stuff. Now we really get to talk about something that's fun and lighthearted and like it'll make you laugh. Oh wait,
you forgot what you're going to call this.
Oh wait,
this is the what? Come on, you got to do your thing. This is the 5th one.
Yeah, but this is not a bonus story.
Do it.
Why are we doing a
bonus episode?
No, this stuff. All right, here we go.
This is. Do it. Come on.
Bonus story.
Wow, that's just terrible.
7 + 1.
You look dead there like that. That was terrible.
Bonus. Yeah, it's a bonus, but there's nothing. Bonus and flex that you're gaining something, but I feel like we're losing by reading this story. So
no, well, okay. So it is a little bit of a down thing, but it's Nichelle Nichols, so we got to talk about it.
It's such a bummer, though, dude.
Well, here's the thing. We don't know exactly what's going on. We know. Let me give you guys the premise. Basically, it came out that Nichelle Nichols is suffering from elder abuse.
Ugh.
So we're going to dig into it.
Thing?
Yeah, we're going to dig into it a little bit.
Oh my God, this person, Kathleen Fountain, gave $5,000. Good for you, Kathleen. Jeez.
Taking it seriously.
Oh,
well,
man.
the thing is elder abuse. What?
I'm sorry, but I'm just, when you see these little anonymous 25, I bet you they're like, thank God I was anonymous.
right now, when they're on our video, they are.
Right up next to the Kathleen Fountain. Oh my goodness!
Oh, right above and below.
Look, it's like $200, $5,000.
Right now, Kathleen Fountain's going, I'm on the podcast Unleashed. Look, my donation. It got noticed.
Anyway.
No, but, you know, the thing about this is that elder abuse has become something that's really gotten a lot more notice lately, especially with, you know, Stan Lee. There are some notable people, Barbara Walters, which keeps coming up, Michael Jackson's mom, Mary Tyler Moore. These are things that keep coming up. And I think what happens is that it's usually related to family members. And in this case, basically what happened is we were on Twitter and we saw a tweet go out to basically support this. Chekhov sent out a tweet. And so we retweeted it. And then I looked at it a little deeper and I realized, wow, they've already raised $128,000 to support her. So what exactly happened? And so there's a little link in here that says click to read the the complaint filing, right? Apparently what's happened is this seems to be against her son. So really? Nichelle Nichols, Nichelle Nichols, say again?
It says Gilbert Bell though.
Well, no, Gilbert Bell was her manager, right? But Kyle Johnson, her son, ended up wrestling away control from Gilbert Bell. Okay, and then what happened so the defendant, the cross complaint, Kyle Johnson here, is the only child and conservator of the person of the estate, Nichelle Nichols. And the complaint is, very specifically here, and you can click on it, there's a link down here, bro. there's a link if you scroll up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but this Gilbert Bell guy seems like a jerk, dude. Where's the link? Oh, I see it.
So that actually shows the actual complaint. This is actually the Superior Court complaint.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, so Gilbert Bell's in there? No, bro, no.
Look at it. Keep going.
I don't understand this. It says plaintiff Kyle Johnson, defendant Kyle Johnson.
It doesn't say plaintiff.
Yeah, up here. Who is the bad guy here? Look, this fundraiser says Gilbert Johnson, bro. Okay.
Oh, you're right. It says Kyle Johnson. Okay, so it says the plaintiff is Gilbert Bell. Gilbert Bell's complaining against Kyle Johnson, brother.
That makes no sense because this entire GoFundMe is anti Gilbert Bell.
Is it really?
Yes. Yeah.
Are we breaking something here? Let's find out.
Yeah, this is in 2010.
Oh, you're reading the comments.
No, I'm not. I'm reading the actual GoFundMe article. In 2010, she had first encountered Gilbert Bell. He said he was a producer and he was developing a feature film in which he helped to have Nichelle co-star, as well as be a 50-50 partner in the enterprise and its profits. Slowly, deliberately, and methodically, Bell insinuated himself into her life. He convinced her to allow him to move into the secondary house on her property adjacent to her residence as they worked on the project. That never happened. Bell still lives in the house under fraudulent lease, essentially paying nothing while compelling Nichelle to pay all of his utilities, and he continues to fight his removal. In 2013, Nichelle, in a very weakened state, followed hospitalization. Knowing that her immediate family members mostly lived outside California, Bell took advantage of the situation to obtain her signature on medical and general powers of attorney. Over time, he continued to gain influence, fees from her many personal appearances, and even her pension and Social Security began to disappear. He later deeded her personal residence into his name, oh my God, which was the final act that triggered the petition for conservatorship, eventually granting to her son, Kyle Johnson. We believe that Bell has taken financial advantage of Nichelle to the tune of well over $1 million, but we have only scratched the surface. So this is her only child, Kyle Johnson. Her only child, Kyle Johnson, is Nichelle's conservative and full-time caregiver. In 2018, our nephew Kyle, their nephew, because this is their aunt, right? Who has lived with his wife in New Mexico since the 90s, returned to Los Angeles to be Nichelle's full-time caregiver and is essentially conservator of her personal estate. But so much of the major damage had already been done. Since then, Gilbert Bell has done the only thing left for him to do. He has slandered Kyle's good name in numerous publications. He recorded a staged encounter with him. Nichelle and Kyle released a video to media outlets and the LAPD and filed suit demanding the continued fraudulent possession of her adjacent property under an owner's terms. So it's not Kyle.
Okay.
It's Gilbert Bell.
Well, here's the thing. Gilbert Bell is the one filing the complaint.
Right. He's doing that to insulate himself.
So what we're seeing here in this complaint, if you click on it, you can see it. What you see in the complaint is his complaint. So what the GoFundMe is, that's Nichelle's family basically calling out this and saying, we need help. The thing of it here is this is very interesting because Gilbert Bell is accusing Kyle of basically trying to steal her money. Which I think he says here that Kyle Johnson is just trying to get her inheritance, I guess. Which makes sense. He's her kid,
right? And Nichelle publicly came out with Kyle on Kyle's behalf. So it's Gilbert, man. Gilbert's a dirtbag. Looks like.
Yes, that's what. Yes. So Gilbert is the. What I'm trying to say. There's two different documents here.
Oh, I see.
So I'm trying to give both sides. The complaint is that the elder abuse. So what I'm trying to say is this isn't Nichelle Nichols wasn't knocked around. She wasn't beat up. She wasn't locked up. What happened is this is about money, right?
Right.
This is about Gilbert Bell stealing from her, basically, and that is also elder abuse.
And the complaint is against his son. Her son Kyle is asking for $25,000.
Yeah. So, yeah, Bell is asking for yes. Okay. So, and apparently, it says here that cross complainant is informed and believes that Bell took advantage of Nichelle and her mental state and took control over her personal assets and financial affairs. It says here that she was facing imminent financial ruin as a result of Bell's wrongful actions as alleged herein. So her son is basically saying that Bell is the reason why her money's gone. So I find it very interesting that Bell came out and filed a suit against her son.
It's actually fairly common for someone that is being accused of something to file suit first against the accuser, right? So that lawsuit sort of takes precedence over whatever else that person's going to do after the fact.
Wow. This guy apparently, what it's saying here is that there was a reverse mortgage done in the amount of $412,000.
Oh my God, bro. And you know what's crazy? Her son was in New Mexico. He only came out, a few years ago to help his mom. Right? Wow. So he couldn't have done any of that. It all could have been, that all was Gilbert Bell.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what the family's reaching out for the GoFundMe. So
and Walter Koenig.
If you guys want to support Nichelle Nichols and what's going on with this stuff here, it looks like this is just kind of the beginning. They're trying to sort it out. I don't know what the what is the fundraiser? What is the money going for? Does it say? They have a goal of $200,000.
Yeah.
And it looks like they tell her history. They talk about elder abuse. They talk about what really occurred.
Yeah, they don't specify what it's for. Maybe it's for her legal fees.
It says here, as a fan admirer of Nichelle, we ask your support by donating toward the accumulated and ongoing legal fees to defend her and ensure the continuing conservatorship by her son Kyle. These funds are necessary for defending Nichelle from Gilbert Bell's baseless but damaging suit. Our countersuit and associated expenses of discovery, we appeal to your generosity. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Gilbert Bell. This is her family talking, dude. Take a hike. That's it. You're hired help, man. That's it.
Well, he's not going to take a hike, though, man, because he might be hired help, but he's also a con man. He's been conning her for years.
I'm telling him to take a hike. I'm saying, take a hike, man.
Here. You better watch out.
You're messing with our Star Trek OG.
Yeah, you're messing with the original.
Messing with Uhura.
The original gangsta.
Right? So much love out to Nichelle Nichols'
what did Walter
family.
Koenig say here? Nichelle Nichols has been a true and loyal friend for over 50 years. She has been financially abused by a person pretending to protect her interests. I urge everyone who knows what a beautiful person she is to support the GoFundMe established in her name. It is a cause very much worth contributing to. She is one of the really great people out there. Can I say something, though?
Yeah.
Right? On behalf of Nichelle and
on behalf of her,
on behalf of Nichelle, I'm going to say something. All the actors that she knows that have a ton of money, okay? I don't understand why 99% of these donations are $20 from regular people like you and me. I don't understand how someone like the chick that plays Michael Burnham, whatever her name is, can come out and during the Star Trek Day and praise Uhura and say how she wouldn't be where she was if she wasn't with her and not be donating. These famous people, right? I really hope that they see this tragedy and help Nichelle. And it's not just the hardcore and I'm going to say it, broke Trekkies like you and me putting money out there for her. I really hope that the people that are actually profiting from Nichelle's groundbreaking work in the 50s and 60s, they're like they say, we're only here because of you, Nichelle, right? If you are truly only here and you only have that money because of Nichelle, I really hope you feel compelled to give some money or help in some way, probably with money. The easiest way for a rich person to help somebody is money.
True. Yeah, and I'm sure, hopefully that, I mean, if it gets to that point, this is something that happened pretty quickly. So maybe it's being worked out, you know, people are busy. Maybe that will happen. But you're right. It should come from those people as well. But the guy, I got to tell you something about elder abuse. People probably don't realize that it isn't just individual con men that are abusing the elderly. There's corporations, companies targeting. There are people targeting the elderly all the time to try to make money off of them. Can't tell you how many letters I open up from my mother-in-law where we're trying to confuse her with something to get her to spend money because of her age. Yeah, it happens frequently.
Yeah, no, that's horrible. So, look, guys, didn't just happen, Shane. Okay? This happened months and months ago.
Oh, this has been going on for months?
Yes. Look at this. I'm going down the list.
Okay, so it just got hot on Twitter.
All right. I'm already at 8 months. All right, look at this list. This GoFundMe has been up. I'm going to stop clicking. For at least 8 months, okay? For at least 8 months. I'm just going to stop here. At least 8
Star
months.
Trek actors.
And look at this.
Open up your wallets.
$5, $10, $20, $5, $20, $50, $5, $10. Every single one of these donations. And aside, there's a few decent ones. $100, right? $1,200, $100, $50. 99% of these are less than $25. And I'm not saying I'm not saying you Trekkies get out there and pull out your savings, dump your Dogecoin and give it to Nichelle. No. I'm saying for the now hundreds of people that all have said during that Star Trek day, they were on the panels talking about how glorious Nichelle. They wouldn't be where they were without Nichelle. Get your wallets out. Yeah, it's been 8 months. Why is this sitting on $129,000? It's $200,000. I hate to pick on Michael Burnham here, but the chick makes $1 million an episode. I'm just saying, bro. Okay? Makes a lot of money. In addition to all the other Star Trek people that are making a ton of money because of her. Right? That's what you said. I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm saying what you said during Star Trek First Contact Day was that you're only there because of Nichelle, right?
Yes.
Get your wallets out, dude. I don't understand why is this not already at $200,000? I do not understand.
All right, so
it's a fraction of one episode paycheck. One episode.
So what we're going to do right now is we just want to get into a little bit of celebrity shaming. Okay, celebrities, get out your wallet. If you were impacted at all, if you were affected at all by the Nichelle Nichols and the groundbreaking stuff that she did, especially for women of color, you should definitely be more than just us donating to this. You guys need to be out there supporting her. So this should get to 200,000 quickly. 8 months, you say, huh?
$5, $15, $5. Yeah, 8.
Well, these people, hey, look, if Star Trek fans are giving $5 and $10, that's fine.
No. In no way am I talking. I'm not talking about the Star Trek fans, dude.
You said it kind of.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna. I think am I gonna give $500? No, I don't have it. Look, I'm broke too. Most people don't have a lot of dough, but I know the people out there. I watched that First Contact Day with extreme frustration. I don't know if you recall this.
I do. Yes.
I was sitting there watching it, and that kept getting said. They kept praising the show, and cool. I'll take it. So that's words. That's all words. Mm. This person now needs dough, and she's not asking for $2 million. They're asking for a couple $100,000 to support their legal fee. And while it's a lot of money for me and Shane, and most of you, I'm sure, it is a fraction of one paycheck of one episode for some of these top billers that all claim that without Nichelle, they wouldn't have a job.
Well said, brother. I think you're right.
Oh,
So
man.
we need to.
Scrolling down
Everybody
is
should just.
depressing.
Well, it is depressing, but it's something that's got to be said, and
8 months.
It can still be saved.
8 months,
still
and
time.
the very first person to donate was Joe Grossman, $10. And you know what, man? You're a good man. You're probably not some wealthy dude. You're probably a regular Trek guy that saw this and decided to help out someone that you love. That's proper. Now, I want to see the other people that have millions of dollars that have benefited from this woman's career put some money in the pot. Maybe cover the legal fees. Maybe just cover it, dude. I don't understand.
Go down and drop off a check.
Maybe that's why I'm not rich, Shane. Right? No, I'm serious.
Why? Because nobody's giving you a bunch of money, or what?
No. I'll tell you. Maybe I'm not rich, right? Because I'm looking at this and being like, this person needs money, and because of the amount of entertainment I've gotten from this person, that's being taken advantage of by this Gilbert guy. If I had a bunch of money, man, I would cover it. I'd be like, yo, here's $20,000. If I'm already rich, like, what's it to me? Right? I might actually hire some mercenaries to go, handle some Gilbert Bella issues. Oh, he's living in your house. He won't leave. I'll solve that problem.
Well, that's one we can handle.
Right. I would solve that problem. Okay. He won't leave. Oh, the cops will listen. He got some kind of paperwork. Cool. I can take care of that.
We'd be really great on a telethon.
That's why I'm not rich though, because I would. There's so many people I would just give money to. Like the second they were like, "Oh, that's why I'm not rich." I'm not.
Yeah, I hope you get rich now, just for that reason whatsoever.
Some of it's weird. There are good rich people, but a lot of the rich people I know are just the worst.
Right.
Just the worst. Yeah.
This went downhill really quick. Anyways, if you guys want to,
I'm just thinking about like Discovery actors just like virtual signaling like crazy on that stream. I'm thinking about every one of their mouths moving right now, and not a single one of them gave to this GoFundMe. And if they did, it was like $10 anonymously. Oh, jeez.
Maybe they wrote him a check in person. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe.
That sounds like an actor thing to do.
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to see like I only gave $1,000. What? I don't even $5,000. I don't know. They don't want everybody to see it. But anyways, listen, we want to tell you guys this has been a great show today. Our first live stream in over a year. How'd we do?
Well, let's see.
You're still looking at it. You guys tell us how we did.
Right now we have 2 viewers, and we had a total of 12 viewers at some point. So
all right, I'll take it.
I think Kenneth is still here. Jeremy's still here, right?
Thank you guys for watching.
I'm one of those viewers, and so are you. So it's actually 10.
Oh, wait a second. So the 2 people watching are just us.
Right. I think right now I'm literally it's just you and me.
Yeah, we're watching ourselves and we're streaming. Somehow that has to be very narcissistic. I have to figure out how that works.
Yeah,
but listen, you guys will see this.
Look at this is the thing.
They will see this.
We're watching ourselves right now. So this is the chat, which I talked to them.
Okay.
And we have 2 concurrent viewers. We have a total of 12. Okay. Minus 2 is 10. But right now, the 2 concurrent are probably just you and I.
Probably.
Right. So we're just watching ourselves right now.
But we are recording for them as well.
All right.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. We'll be here same time next week, same place. You guys come hang out with us, and of course during the week we'll have some great stuff for you.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Well said, my friend.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. It just took it out of you. This last story just took it out of you.
It did, man. I am so disappointed in like people right now. It's not even.
Oh, this is a deeper thing. All right. Yeah. After this, we'll have a little psychology session.
People, man. They're just like most people are just not good people.
But not you people.
Not
Thank you very much.
You're wonderful.
You guys are great.
Yeah. All right.
We appreciate you. So make sure you guys come back next week.
And, I love you guys. Hey, please subscribe. If you're not on Discord, get in there. Just say hello to us. Actually, just get in. Even if you don't care about Discord, get in there so that we can assign you a role, so you can get more easily updated about free member stuff, because the YouTube member section sucks, bro.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's basically and it's basically a forum. And here's the deal: you refresh it, and it doesn't even show you from your last post to your first one. Like the last post randomly changes.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like,
so go to Discord.
Who designed YouTube to do that? When you post, why are you not seeing my last post? Why are you seeing a post from 2 weeks ago? I do not understand. It should always be from oldest to latest, the newest. I don't understand the idea of switching it up. Like, are you joining the most popular thing? Why? It's my community page. Jeez.
We need to give you a ranting platform here.
I don't understand the way people make
I know.
things. All right.
Let's sign this bad boy out.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Have a good one.